Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the ABT Workshop. So we've jazzed things up today. B's not doing the introduction, he's left it to me and he said go off and do what you want to do. So here we are going to go and find B. Let's go and find him. Obviously B's better at his introductions. So come on, let's go and find B and see what he's doing.
Hey Bob.
And here's our man. B, what are you up to?
How you doing, buddy? You good? Hi guys, welcome to the 190E. I don't think the car's had a lot of favor on the channel actually, and it's about time we give it its day in the light. So why am I out here cleaning the 190E? Well, actually there's a little bit of a story with the 190E. I'm going to save that for Bob to tell you later. But first of all, what is a 190E? Let me put this down for a minute and explain. Well, 190Es were Mercedes' version of a compact design and race car. In the 1970s, Mercedes decided that they had a huge selection of really large cars. So anyone from the 70s will remember they're really big cars. And they wanted to create a more compact design. And ironically, a lot of people don't know this. They actually wanted to create something in par to the VW Golf. Now, I can't imagine Mercedes creating that, even though we see the A-classes today, but that's what they were looking to do. But luckily, the guys at Mercedes, the people in the board decided that a more traditional looking car, a little bit more compactor, would be a better option. So the 190E was born, originally in a 2.3, but then our good guys here in the UK at Cosworth decided that they're gonna tinker with it a little bit. And then the 190E Cosworth was born, a 2.5 variation of the original design with a 16-valve overhead cam solution, which boosted the power close to about 200 odd brake horsepower, but really did liven this car up.
But we've got to say, 200 horsepower back in 88, 89, that was like warp speed back then.
100%.
Got to bear in mind, 200 horsepower, your average car is about 70 or 80.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you were lucky.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think that Mercedes created the 190 as a direct competitor to BMW, and actually that's not the case. Mercedes were working on this secret weapon for rally. And back then, the S2000s of the era, the Fords of the era were dominating in rally, and this was Mercedes' answer to that. Unfortunately for them, in the early 80s, Audi obviously dominated
They
all.
dominated with the Quattro.
With the Quattro, absolutely. They launched the Quattro, and from that point onward, Mercedes obviously know that they can't do much with the rally team, especially with the rear-wheel drive when four-wheel drive is dominating the series. So what's the next thing that they can do, the next best thing? And of course, the touring was going on.
DTM Touring.
DTM Touring, exactly, the German race series. So then, of course, Mercedes entered there and they dominated. Even to the point that we have Ayrton Senna in his early days. So we showed some of his earliest talents. But this, everybody, is the 190E Cosworth. And of course, a legend back in the day, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde today, still drives like a beautiful Mercedes. Get over 4.5 grand though, it'll soon put you back in your seat. Now the sun is setting on the day, so we're gonna take the car, we're gonna put it away for now, and we're gonna ask Bob, what's actually really going on with this vehicle? So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, Bob, so we're back inside the workshop. We're putting the 190E to bed. But before we do that, why don't you tell me a little bit about this car? Where did it come from? How did you get hold of it? And where's it going?
So, bit of an interesting story. We have known this car for now, probably in total, probably 15 years or so now. It had been parked up in one of our friends' yards. He had a couple of other cars there, so we'd been asking for a number of years, look, sell us a Cosworth, sell us a Cosworth. He had this idea that he was going to restore it and do it up himself. One day I asked him again, sell me the Cosworth. And he goes, all right, fine. But he goes, you got to buy a couple of cars because I need to get the yard cleared up. So in the deal, we came up with Alpha Spider, right, a rusty little thing, and a Nissan Fugo thing or other. I'm sure I pronounced that right. I'm sure I pronounced it right. Nissan Fugo. That was part of the deal. Those two cars and this one. All three cars were non-runners, so we had them all delivered to the workshop. Got the other two running, which are simple things, batteries and a bit of new fuel in them. Got them put on eBay, and off they went. They sold really quickly. This is the one that we were after, the Cosworth. Got this car in 2019. It had been stood for about 10 years. Reason it had been stood up is because it wouldn't start, and that's it, just left it there. Fast forward 10 years, we get the car, start investigating the problem. We looked into many things. It ended up being a simple thing of the fuel relay. So that was the whole problem. We put new fuel in it, sorted the fuel relay out, sorted a bit of the wiring out that had been mucked about with over the years, the previous mechanics. So put a lot of that back to original, got that all going, got the car running, and it started up. I think there's a video somewhere which we'll dig out of when we first started the car. That was a really cool moment.
And it always is these little things. Now, for you guys out there in the world, you'll know who you are when I say this. One of my friends back in the day had a 924, Porsche 924, and we couldn't, for the sake of us, get it to start. And it actually ended up being just a fuel filter. And it really is sometimes these small little things that can stop a car.
It's the simplest things that you never think about.
Exactly.
And so yeah, once we had got the car running, then it was a case of tackling other things around it. So we done a suspension overhaul, new shocks, new springs, new coffin arms, new suspension arms, done all of that. Then it was a case of tackling the bodywork. So we ended up going new inner and outer rear wheel arches, new sill sections on the back. The two front wings had a bit of corrosion on them. So rather than we couldn't find OEM wings. So we found a couple of aftermarket Taiwanese wings. They just didn't line up. So what we done, we cut out the rusty section on these OEM wings, cut the good section out of the Taiwanese ones, and welded them back together.
Good job. They look factory.
Yeah. It is factory. All we've done is put repair sections in.
Yeah.
That's why we got such good lines against the bonnet and the wing and the door of the wing. The pattern wings were never an option to put on here. We gave it a full respray. So now it's just left to the interior, but running the workshop is just taking up so much of our time and more importantly, space.
Yeah.
So back end of last year, we thought, right, you know what, let's just let someone else take over the project. Give it to someone else, give it to someone new, and take over the project. So we put it on eBay, put it across our social medias. We got a few offers in, but as we're so invested in this car, we thought, you know what, we're not going to let it go for nothing. It has to.
Time, money, sweat and tears.
Yeah, time, money, sweat and tears gone into it. So we thought, look, if it doesn't sell, we'll just lock the car away up for another 10 years. We'll pull it out in the meantime, find some door trims for it. It'll be fine. That was back end of last year. Then one day, just out of nowhere, in December, after it had been through all the eBay and social medias, and we were like now getting it ready to get parked up, randomly get a phone call from a guy. To start off with, I thought it was some scam. I honestly thought it was a scam.
Okay.
So I took the first phone call with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Then the WhatsApp messages started.
Okay.
And then I soon came to realize, hold on, this guy is asking all the correct questions.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a scam. The reason I thought it was a scam, because the guy was from Australia, he's from a different country. So I've never dealt with someone from a different country shipping a car out.
So
And
wait, hold on. I just picked up what you just said.
You just picked up, and you guys have just picked up.
So this car is leaving the UK.
It's leaving the UK and
for the
it's going
first time ever, and it's going Australia.
It's going to Australia.
Wow.
So this car is going to Australia. The new owner, Derek. So that's now confirmed. Derek, when it comes over
Hi,
to
Derek.
you. Hey, Derek. So yeah, Derek is the new owner of this. So
Lucky guy.
So we've done a full video of this. And yes, Derek, when we first made contact, I honestly thought it was a scam. But then you started asking the right questions. Then everything went quiet.
Okay.
And so then we started thinking, right, okay, we got to get this car put into storage. And then probably about 4 weeks ago, Derek's back on the scene.
Oh, wow.
So Derek's had some changes in his life, and life for him took over. And that's why he went quiet on us. And he goes, look, there's a deposit, I want the car. So we came up with a deal, he transferred the money. I've been sending him videos, we've had the car running, done all that, finalized the deal. So now, tomorrow, this car is going off to Wiltshire, where it's got to have something called a asbestos check, asbestos certificate. So once they certify that the car has no asbestos on it, it will be on a ship halfway across the world.
Amazing. So, wow, I've never dealt with the shipping container or shipping car over halfway across the world. I can't even imagine what's involved. What sort of timelines are we talking? When is Derek expecting to get this?
Well, from what I've heard is it's around 28 days.
Wow.
But Derek is taking over the whole logistics side of it.
Oh, amazing.
So he's arranged everything. As soon as it leaves us in the next couple of days, Derek is taking over the whole logistics. He's sorted it all out. He's obviously a man that knows what he's doing. And I think the next time we're going to see this car is when Derek takes it off the ship and takes delivery of it.
Derek, please, if you're watching, and I know you are, make sure to film that for us.
We don't want just a clip. We want you to do a whole video,
do a whole series.
Do us a whole video so we can add it to this. But yeah, so that's the whole story. This little beauty's gonna go halfway across the world and enjoy a life in the sun.
Well, guys, it's bittersweet, as all these things are, and especially with something that you love. It's a beautiful car, and I know that they're going to enjoy it as much as we've enjoyed working on it. We haven't had the opportunity to enjoy it ourselves out on the road as much, but absolutely, we know it's going to a good home. So, Bob, is there anything further on the car?
No, I think we're going to be sad to see it go, really.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen this car finished and enjoyed it on the road. But then, like we say, life takes over and time. And as we all know, time is quite precious in life.
It's really funny, even recently when we had our show, any person that sees this vehicle, they always have some idea of what they would do. We've asked a few people that, oh, I would do this, I would do this, I would fix it, I would make it all full OEM, I would restore it, I'll bring it back to its glory. Everyone has an idea of what they want.
Everyone's got their own individual
flair.
Yeah, individual flair that they want to throw on the car.
Absolutely, but that's what this car meant to a lot of people. That 190E, that distinctive silhouette, that distinctive motor history, you know, with its bitter rival, the BMW. But that's what it meant to a lot of people, and that aspiration for those old school feelings that are now bubbling up in later on years. But with that, I really am going to be sad to see it go. So that's the big announcement, guys. The car's on its way out. Hopefully we'll get some footage from Derek and we'll be able to show you that as well. But Bob, I think with that, I think we're done, right?
With that, I think we'll see this car down under.
guys, so we're watching the car get loaded. Bob, there it is. Last
There it is.
moment.
Bit of an emotional moment.
It is indeed.
Nearly, what, 4 or 5 years later, probably a bit longer than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a bit of an emotional moment, but hey, it's going to a good home.
Definitely going to a
I've
good
just
home.
been messaging Derek. I've just sent him pictures of the car, of the
Amazing.
lorry. Sent him some pictures earlier on while we were outside, just giving it a once over. He's really excited. He's really,
And
really
it should
excited.
be. It should be. I mean, it's an epic car.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he's really excited, and I think he's gonna really enjoy that.
I agree. I think the great thing about this car here is that, look, it's loaded. It's at the beginning of its journey. Then it's going to get on, like you said, on a container, and then off it goes.
Oh yeah, no, from here it's going over to Wiltshire somewhere.
Okay.
So this is the last we're going to see of the car. So from here
Alright.
it's going off to Wiltshire. It's going to have something called an asbestos test.
Yeah.
And then from there it's going to have some other testing done.
Yeah.
That's all getting done over in Wiltshire. From there, that's when it's ready and signed off to get into a container and going down under.
Go down under. So guys and girls, have a look at the car for the very last time.
In the UK.
In the UK, as it's off now to Australia. Thank you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to another episode of ABT. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with the progress of this vehicle, how it's shipping over to Australia, make sure you click that bell icon. If you want to know more about what we do here at ABT, make sure you subscribe. And if you have something to say, don't be silent. Make sure you write something in the comments. Let us know what you think of our videos. We're making them for you. And with that, thanks guys.
See you later.
It's gone.